everybody, welcome back to the Law Teaching series initiated by All India Human Rights Association. I am Payal, a law student and an active member at the organization. Today we are here for another special discussion, and this time we will be talking about the directive principles of state policies enshrined under Part 4 of the Indian Constitution, falling from Article 36 to 51. So let's begin with our discussion. This is the first part of our discussion and it is about the major features of the DPSPs. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar describes them as novel features or the heart and soul of the Indian Constitution, as they resemble the instrument of instructions enumerated in Government of India Act 1935. These principles were borrowed from the Irish Constitution and they borrowed it from the Spanish Constitution. The makers incorporated these principles in Part 4 of the Constitution from Article 36 to Article 51. Makers deemed them fundamental in the governance of the country as will epitomize the hopes and the aspirations of the Indian people. These principles are the affirmative instructions to the state authorities as defined under Article 12 to secure to all the citizens justice, be it social, economic, political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. These principles underline the philosophy of the democratic socialism to secure the high ideals set forth in the preamble of the Indian Constitution. It is the duty of the state to follow these principles both in the matters of administration as well as in the making of the laws. The second part of the discussion is personally my favorite part, as it is about the difference between the fundamental rights and DPSP. It answers all the queries as to why people sometimes call fundamental rights part as their favorite. Let's begin with the differences. Fundamental rights are the basic rights guaranteed to the citizens of the India under the Indian Constitution, whereas the directive principles are the guidelines to the state to be followed while framing the laws and policies. Fundamental rights पार्ट 3 में दिए गए हैं and directive principles दिए गए हैं पार्ट 4 में. Fundamental rights negative duty establish करता है state पे to prevent the government from doing certain things which will certainly abrogate certain fundamental rights of the citizens. जबकि directive principles of state policies positive है in nature because it requires the government to do certain things. The fundamental rights are justiciable as they are enforced and their violation is punishable crime. The directive principles are not justiciable as they cannot be enforced and their violation is not a punishable crime. The fundamental rights establish political democracy, whereas the directive principles establish the social and economic democracy. Fundamental rights का एक legal sanction होता है, बल्कि directive principles of state policies का एक moral and political sanction होता है. The fundamental rights promote individual welfare, whereas the directive principles promote the welfare of the entire community. हालांकि इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन DPSPs को क्लासिफाई नहीं करता है, but based on the content of these DPSPs, these can be classified into 3 categories. First up is the socialistic principles that aim at providing social and economic justice to all its citizens, and ये एम करता है कि ये establish करे एक welfare state. इसके अंडर काफ़ी सारे आर्टिकल्स आते हैं, like आर्टिकल 38 जो कि प्रमोट करता है वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल बाय सिक्योरिंग अ सोशल ऑर्डर थ्रू जस्टिस, बी इट सोशल, इकोनॉमिक एंड पॉलिटिकल, एंड टू मिनिमाइज द इनइक्वालिटी जो कि प्रिवेल कर सकती है इनकम में, स्टेटस में, फैसिलिटीज में एंड अपॉर्चुनिटीज में. और 39A दैट प्रमोट्स इक्वल जस्टिस एंड फ्री लीगल एड टू द पुअर्स. बेसिकली एम करता है कि एक वेलफेयर स्टेट स्टैब्लिश करे एंड सबको इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज प्रोवाइड करे. Next up is the Gandhian principles. These principles are based on the Gandhian ideology used to represent the program of reconstruction enunciated by him during the national movement. Under various articles, they direct the state to, for example, Article 40, to organize village panchayats and endow them with necessary powers and authority to enable them to function as units of self-government. Or, let's say, Article 46, that promotes the educational and economic interest of the SCs, STs, or any other such weaker section of the society, and to protect them from social injustice and exploitation. One of the major article or the DPSP that has been in controversy is Article 48. This particular article or the directive principle directs the state to make the laws that prohibit the slaughter of the cows, calves and other milch and brought cattle to promote or to improve their breeds. Next up is the liberal and intellectual principles. These principles reflect the ideology of liberalism. Under various articles, they direct the state to, for example, Article 44. First, to secure for all the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the country. ये एक आर्टिकल काफ़ी सारे controversies में रहा है क्योंकि ये this particular article directs the state to establish a UCC. UCC होता है एक यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, be it related to religious practices or any such other. तो इस पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल के अंदर काफ़ी सारे टाइम स्टेट्स ने कोशिश की है कि सारे के सारे रिलीजन लॉज हटाकर एक यूनिफॉर्म रिलीजन लॉ निकाले जो कि सबको इक्वली अप्लाई होगा. It also includes Article 48 that organize agricultural and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines. Apart from this, we also have Article 50 under this particular category. It separates the judiciary from the executive in the public services of the state. Due to the time constraint, we have covered the major articles or the major DPSPs falling under these various three categories. The fourth segment of our discussion will be about the four major amendments with respect to the directive principles of state policies that have taken place over the years. The 42nd Amendment is the major one here. It added four new directive principles in the list. It is of 1976. First, 39, 39A, 43A and 48A. यहाँ पे सबसे बड़ा सबसे मेजर आर्टिकल या DPSP जो है वो है 39A. As per this particular DPSP, it directs the state to promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid to the poor. In case कोई एक इंसान एक लीगल केस में इन्वॉल्व है एंड उसके पास लीगल असिस्टेंस नहीं है या फिर इतना फाइनेंशियली साउंड नहीं है कि एक लीगल असिस्टेंस या फिर एक लीगल प्रैक्टिशनर अफोर्ड कर पाए, तो दिस पर्टिकुलर DPSP establishes a negative duty on the state as defined under Article 12 of the Indian Constitution to provide the person with free legal aid. A new DPSP under Article 38 was added by the 44th Amendment Act of 1978. It requires the state to minimize the inequalities in income, status, facilities, and opportunities. Further, a new DPSP under the Article 43B was added by the 97th Amendment Act of 2011. It is pertaining to the cooperative societies. The 86th Amendment Act of 2002 changed the subject matter of Article 45 and made elementary education a fundamental right under 21A. Here, the Article 37 makes it clear that the DPSPs are the fundamental in the governance of the country and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making the laws. जब हम कहते हैं कि DPSPs enforceable नहीं है, they are non-enforceable, तो इसका आंसर दिया हुआ है आर्टिकल 37 में. ये कहता है कि स्टेट के ऊपर जो कि डिफाइंड है आर्टिकल 12 में, it has a negative duty on it to follow these directive principles in their decision making and make laws pertaining to these to run the country. ये डिस्कशन अधूरा होगा अगर हम फंडामेंटल राइट्स एंड डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी के बीच में जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है उसको एड्रेस ना करें. इस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को सबसे पहले एड्रेस किया था चंपाकन दोराई राजन केस में. Here, the Supreme Court ruled that in case of any conflict between these two, the fundamental rights provisions will prevail, and the DPSPs were regarded to run as a subsidiary to the fundamental rights. It also ruled that the Parliament can amend the fundamental rights through the Constitutional Amendment Act to implement any of the DPSPs. इसका रिजल्ट ये हुआ कि पार्लियामेंट ने फर्स्ट अमेंडमेंट एक्ट ऑफ 1951, फोर्थ अमेंडमेंट एक्ट ऑफ 1955 and 17th Amendment Act of 1964 निकाला to amend some of the directives. Next up is the Golaknath case of 1967. The Supreme Court ruled that the Parliament cannot amend any of the fundamental rights to implement the directive principles. इसका रिजल्ट ये हुआ कि पार्लियामेंट ने इनैक्ट किया 24th and 25th Amendment Act, declaring that it has the power to abridge or take away any of the fundamental rights by enacting the Constitutional Amendment Acts. 25th Amendment Act ने insert किया एक new article, Article 31C, जिसके दो provisions थे. Next up is the Keshwanand Bharti case of the 1973. Herein, the Supreme Court ruled out the second provision of the Article 31C and upheld the amendment added by the 25th Amendment during the Golaknath case of 1967. It termed the provision unconstitutional. However, as I've already said, it upheld the first provision of the Article 31C constitutional and valid. इसका रिजल्ट ये हुआ कि through the 42nd Amendment Act, Parliament extended the scope of the first provision of Article 31C. It accorded the position of legal primacy and supremacy to the directive principles over the fundamental rights conferred by Article 14, 19 and 31. Last is the case that cleared all the fuss that was created by these previous judgments. The Supreme Court herein held that the extension of 31C made by 42nd Amendment Act unconstitutional and invalid. It made the DPSP subordinate to the fundamental rights. Supreme Court also held that the Indian Constitution is founded on the bedrock of the balance between these two. And इन दोनों के बीच का जो बैलेंस है, यानी फंडामेंटल राइट्स एंड डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी के जो बीच का बैलेंस है, दिस इज वन ऑफ द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर फीचर ऑफ आवर इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. And the Supreme Court's ruling following the case were the fundamental rights and the DPSPs constitute the core of the commitment to social revolution. The harmony and the balance between these two is an essential feature of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution, and the goals set out by the directive principle have to be achieved without the abrogation of the means provided by the fundamental rights enshrined under Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. Hey people, with this we have concluded today's discussion, and I hope you've liked the video. In case you have any query, do leave a comment below. Thank you for watching.